Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Michaela and I make lifestyle and adult coloring videos here on this channel. And today I have a super duper exciting video. I am finally getting around to this video, but this is the this or that coloring tag round 2. I was about to hold up 4 fingers. No, it's round 2. I'm really excited about it because my first this or that tag went over super duper well, and I figured, you know what, why not film a second one with different questions? And this time I actually had some help from a few of my coloring buddies, so big shout out to Shayna in Colorland, Danielle from Danny Buttons, and Emily from Color Me Impressed. Thank you guys so much for helping me figure out some different questions to ask in this tag. Before I get started, I just want to tag 4 different people, and of course I want to tag the 3 buddies that helped me, so Shayna, Danielle, and Emily. You guys are all tagged to do this video, and I also want to tag Meg from Meg's Art Atrium. I know I said that really Wisconsin. I don't really care. So yeah, I want to tag those 4 individuals. I will leave all their channels linked down below. Definitely go check them out. And if you guys want to do this tag, feel free to do it even if you're not tagged. I just wanted to get the ball rolling with these 4 individuals, but I think that is it for this intro. I will leave all of the prompts down below so you guys can check them out, and let's get right into the tag. So firstly, we gotta look for something to color with, like for the outfit. Is that what I want to color first? I kind of want to make her cape like a really dark blue. I just have my color swatch sheet. Don't mind me, it's kind of all over the place. But I want to use like a dark blue. We're going to go with 62. I'm going to use that for the cape. Let's find the color. Do you guys ever just like look in your markers for far too long trying to find a color? Even though you know it should just be right there and it's not? Oh my gosh, where is it? That took me a really long time. Anyways, let's get into the first question in this tag, and the first question is coloring in bed or coloring at a desk. I do all of the above. I tend to pick and choose where I color literally just based on how I'm feeling for the day. So this is hard because I definitely use both, but I think I prefer coloring at a desk just because it's just easier to, you know, lay out all your things. In bed, you gotta have like a hard surface, and overall I just find it to be more of an inconvenience to color at a, you know, bed or a couch than it is to color, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna fill in that circle, I don't really care. You know what, I'm just gonna color in that too. I just find it to be more of an inconvenience to color in bed. However, that being said, I definitely do that. I color in bed a lot. But if I had to pick, I would prefer to color at a desk. I also just wanted to point out that this is actually a buddy color with Danielle, so shout out to her. Yeah, I have not finished mine yet. She has definitely finished hers, and I had no idea what to do, so I just wasn't coloring it. Anyways, yeah, I would definitely say coloring at a desk. The next question I have is Crayola Super Tips or Staedler markers. Both of these are different water-based markers. So if I had to pick, this is hard too, because both of them definitely have their pros and their cons. So like for Crayola Super Tips, you only get 100 in a pack, and sometimes they only sell them for 50, but they're significantly cheaper than the Staedler water-based markers. And the Staedler markers come in a pack of, let's see, 120, I believe. And they also come in smaller packs, but they're also significantly more expensive. And I've noticed with some, not all, but like some of my Staedler markers, they bleed through the page. Like, what the heck? Why is that a thing? Why do they bleed through? Not badly, like not enough to like never use them, but it's definitely enough to like get me to wonder like why they do that. So for this answer, I think I would go with Crayola Super Tips for that reason. They're cheaper, and I have never noticed a problem with bleed through with them, but I have with the staedler markers, so yeah, that's my answer for that one. Is it stupid that I'm coloring over the stars? I don't know. This might be stupid. I feel like eventually I wanted to color them in like yellow, but too late for that. The next question I have is Eriy's Romantic Country series or Tracing series. I do not own Eriy's Tracing series, but still, with that being said, I probably still would choose Romantic Country. I feel like tracing probably isn't my thing. I know I can't really say that for certain until I were to try the tracing coloring books. But from what I've seen, it doesn't seem like my cup of tea personally. But Eriy's Romantic Country series is absolutely stunning. And you can do a lot with them. You can use water-based markers in the books. You can use pencils. You can use pastel. You can use watercolor. And you know, you could probably use that in the tracing book too. But the lines are so faint that ultimately you're either going to color it in lightly or you are going to trace over the lines. So that's not my thing. So for that reason, I would say just the Romantic Country series. Okay, next we have Sachin Sachdeva color by number or color Questopia color by number. I did a good one with these. I half the time don't even know my answers. So I only own one Sachin Sachdeva book, and that is, let's see, the Mandala. Newest diamond, not diamond, mandala, color by number. That's the only one I have by him. I like it a lot. It's fun. Color Questopia has a huge variety of color by numbers, and they have white background and black background, which is really awesome. For that reason, I'm gonna go with Color Questopia. They're, I think, just more up my alley, and they have more options, and all the books come with sample pages in the back, which is fantastic. I just really enjoy that feature. So yeah, I think I would choose Color Questopia, color by numbers. And now I need to figure out what else to color this in with. I'm thinking about making, let's see, her dress. I don't want to like clash it with the dark blue. I really don't. But would a 170 look stupid? I don't know. 171? We'll go with 171, maybe. That might look bad, but I guess we're about to find out how this will look. But the next question is Hannah Lynn simple version of the page or the more detailed version of the page. So you guys know how Hannah Lynn and at least her newest book come with double images. One of them is a more simplified version of the page and the other is more detailed. That's kind of what I'm asking, which one you guys prefer coloring. If I'm being honest, I prefer the simplified version. I think that's actually all I actually have done in any of the books that have the doubles, is I've only done the simplified version. And I don't mind. They take less time, they're less intimidating. Her backgrounds tend to be intimidating, for me personally. So yeah, I think I would go with the simple version of the page. I do appreciate that she has both though, because, you know, you can pick. However, on that same accord, are you ever going to do the doubles? Depends on the person. That's my answer though. The next question is coloring animals or coloring people. I think I would pick coloring people. I feel like with alcohol markers, it's very easy to color people because, like, look at this. It was really easy just to use like a skin tone marker, color in the picture, and great. But when it comes to animals, it's harder to make them look realistic if you're not super talented. Is that weird to say? I don't know. That's kind of just how I feel. Harder to make them look realistic. For that reason, I think I would go with coloring people, just because I think it's easier to slap a skin tone on the page if you're using alcohol markers. I mean, not if you're using like water-based markers, it could come off looking streaky, just not as good. I think that's what I'd say for that. Next, we have plan your colors in advance or wing it. I always wing it. I almost never plan my colors in advance, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's a pretty neutral thing. Yeah, I don't really ever plan my colors unless, and I don't really color mandalas, you guys know this, but if I were to color a mandala, that'd be like the one thing I would plan out my colors for. Yeah, otherwise no. I don't really plan out my colors. Winging it is the key to life, you know? Why plan things when you can just wing it? That's my life motto. That is my life motto. Anyways, next question is straight coloring or blended coloring. If you guys have been around my channel for any length of time, you know that I am a straight colorist. I do not do blending in my coloring. I don't really have an interest to learn. I think it's gorgeous, but that's just not me. I prefer straight coloring. It takes less time. I think the results still look good, but it saves you time when you don't have to blend color. Like maybe one day I'll learn how to, but I don't know. For now, I'm okay with how I just straight color. Next up, we have color by number or color by color. So if you guys know the artist Sachdeva, she has books that are color by colors, which basically the outline of each line is a specific color and you color in that line with that color. So for me, I probably would still pick color by number. Even though I love the color by colors, I just think the color by number would be. It's just easier to color. I don't know. I like them both, but I think I would pick color by number. I also think there are a lot more books with just color by number options than there are with color by color. So in general, you just get more options with it. Again, I like coloring color by colors, but I think I would pick color by numbers over color by color. Okay. Next up, we have alcohol markers or Sharpie / permanent markers. So what I mean by this question really is just, do you prefer alcohol markers, so like the Ohuhus, the Cali Arts, Tau Trees, things like that, or do you prefer permanent markers, so like Sharpies? Let's see. I think Pen and Gear have some permanent markers. There's another brand that I can't think of the name of. Danielle always shows them in her videos. I don't recall, but I personally prefer alcohol markers over permanent markers. I feel like the tip tends to be more flexible on alcohol markers, obviously depending if you're using a brush marker or if you're using a little nib like this. It just depends, but I think the alcohol markers tend to just give you more variety in general. And I mean, I know this isn't true for all brands, but I feel like alcohol markers usually come with more options in a pack. I don't know, I feel like, I don't know, is that true? Am I making that up? Might not be true. But I would go with alcohol markers over the Sharpies or the permanent markers. Okay. Next we have coloring images realistically or wacky colors. Again, this question really depends on how I'm feeling, but I will say 99% of the time I tend to color things in very realistically, in realistic colors. I'm really bad at coloring outside of my comfort zone, and coloring things realistically is my comfort zone. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. I really, like, fantasy books make it easier to color things not as realistically, if you know what I mean. So like the romantic country books, even something like this is a little bit out of whack. Again, it's fairly normal. I'm doing pretty normal colors, like the boots are brown, the sun is yellow, you know, but I think those books make it easier to color things wacky, but for the most part, I definitely do things very realistic. And now I need another color. Should I do pink for that middle part? That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like a nice light pink, like maybe a nice 28. Yeah, a nice 28 would be fantastic. Here we go. Great, we found 28. Next, actually, this might be the marker that, okay, so if you guys can see this, it's like there's no ink in here, like none of the actual, is it gonna focus? None of the actual pink ink, it's not really focusing. You know what, we're not gonna use that color. I think 17 was another one that, as I put it back in the container, yeah, 17 we're gonna use instead. For some reason, there's like no ink in that one. I don't know where it went, but that's okay. 17, 17, 17, right here. Okay, now we're gonna color in the hearts and continue, but the next question actually have 3 options. Yeah, I hope you guys don't mind. But color while listening to a podcast, music, or audiobook. So this is like, you get 3 choices. I don't really do any of the above, but sometimes I will listen to music while I color, and that's kind of my happy place, is listening to music while I color. It's usually just because I'm really anxious, and that's like the only thing that will keep my mind pretty calm, is listening to music. But if I had to pick between the 3, it would probably be music. And then my second choice would be podcasts and then audiobooks, but yeah, if I had to pick from the 3, it would be music. Next up, we have Kerby Rosannes, World Within Worlds, or Fragile Worlds. Fragile Worlds, Fragile Worlds. I've been watching too many UK YouTubers, because now I'm just saying fragile instead of fragile. I forgot how to talk like an American. Anyways, yeah. I like them both, but I'm gonna pick Fragile Worlds. It's his newest book, and I just really enjoy like how different it is and the meaning behind the book and how it brings light to all of the endangered animals. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I think Worlds Within Worlds has some very pretty pictures in it. Oh, her lips are so ugly. Oh, I made that so ugly. That's okay. I think Worlds Within Worlds has some really pretty pictures, but I don't necessarily think they're all my favorites to color. And I think Fragile Worlds has some overall better pictures, and it, again, brings some interesting perspective, just because it's talking about endangered animals and animals that are, you know, threatened. Things like that. So yeah, that's what I would go with. Okay, next, this is the last question in the I picked the questions category, and it is Kamiliya Angelkova's Mandalas or Miniature series. So I actually, fun fact, do not own any books by Kamiliya Angelkova. So of course, this answer doesn't really mean much, but if I had to pick, I've seen all of her books on YouTube, and if I had to pick, I'd probably pick the Miniature series over the Mandalas, because there's just more to it than just mandalas, you know what I mean? So yeah, I would probably pick the Miniature series over the Mandalas, but that is just me. Again, I don't actually own the books, so I feel like my answer might not be super duper fair, but that is my answer for that one. Okay, and now we are getting into the last, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions And then I have a bonus question at the end, but this first question was one of Shayna's questions, and it is buddy color or coloring on your own. Let me find another color for this and then I can answer the question. I think I know what color. Yeah, I'm gonna go for 75. Okay. Did I use 75 on the, no, I used 171. Great, okay. Okay, so now that I have the color, so buddy color or coloring on your own. Okay, buddies, don't hate me for this. I prefer coloring on my own. Here's why. With buddy colors, I feel like there's so much pressure to get pages done in a timely manner, and I know that's ridiculous. Like, and I know I'm typically pretty quick at coloring, but I feel bad, like for Danielle's picture, I feel so bad that I haven't like gotten this done yet. Not like I've been doing anything, you know, like I've had nothing else to do and I still haven't finished this, you know? But I feel like buddy pressures are so like sensitive in terms of timing. And like, let's say you want to start coloring the page as a buddy color, but then you realize you don't want to anymore. You know? I don't know. It's probably me being ridiculous. I'm sorry, buddies. I will 100% do buddy colors with anyone if you just, you know, message me. I just feel like there's so much pressure behind it. So I prefer coloring on my own for that reason. That being said, I don't hate buddy colors at all. I really enjoy doing them. I feel bad about that answer, but it's the truth. And then the next question is from Danielle, and she asked, trying a new artist or buying from an old favorite? This is actually a really good question. I'm gonna go with buying from an old favorite because I am terrible at branching out to new artists. So let me just use this as an example. When I first got into Questopia, or when I first saw Questopia's work, I wasn't super into it. But then I was messaging them about sending me a book for review, and I said yes, and when I got the book, I actually really liked it. I think it just takes a push of just seeing if I'll like it. I don't think I would, like, back then, I don't think I would have bought it on my own accord, but it was really nice of them to send it, and it made me realize that I liked it. I just think I'm afraid to spend money on a book if I don't necessarily like it, you know? Because, you know, that's money, and it, you know, gets wasted, you don't color in it. That's kind of where I'm at with that. So I'd rather buy from an old favorite. It's okay trying new things. It's good to try new things. But for that reason, that's my answer. And then these last 4 questions come from Emily, so shout out to Emily. But the first question is colorful or neutral color palette? I tend to go for pretty colorful palettes. Yeah, I don't do neutrals a whole ton. I feel like all my pages end up being fairly colorful. However, if she's asking neutral in the sense of like realistic, then more neutral, but I still think I do things in a more colorful manner. I don't know if that even made sense, but I feel like that's kind of where I'm at for that, is more colorful than neutral. Okay, and then we have typically color a page in one sitting or work on it little by little. Oh, this one's hard too. It really depends, again, if I am working on a more difficult page, it needs to be little by little. Otherwise, typically, I like to get them done in one sitting, in one night usually. Maybe not even one sitting, but just like one night, I like to get things done. So for that, I think I would choose in one sitting. And again, the pages I choose normally are not that difficult, so it's not like it's, you know, hard to get them done. That's my answer for that. And then we have a similar question, what was asked earlier, which is color while watching TV or color while watching YouTube. Oh my goodness, I do both, but I would rather watch YouTube while coloring because typically YouTube is more mindless, especially when you're coloring with someone else while they're doing a color in chat. Let me know in the comments if you guys are doing that below, if you guys are coloring right now too while I'm coloring. yeah, I find that to be easier than watching like Netflix. However, I can indeed do that. Lately, I've been watching Married at First Sight, the newest season, and I have 100% been coloring while watching it. But I would rather be watching YouTube, since, again, it tends to be more mindless talk on YouTube than it does you miss a dramatic piece of information on Married at First Sight when you find out, you know, your husband's ex-fiance's pregnant. If you guys watch this season of Married at First Sight, then you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It is a whole thing this season, but anyways, we are actually on to the last this or that question, and then there is a bonus question. So the last this or that question is color by number pixel / mosaics or standard color by number. I don't really think this is in far enough. Oh no. I don't really have many pixel or mosaic color by number books. I guess technically you can count Color Questopia as mosaic, can't you? I'm still gonna choose standard color by numbers because I just kind of like knowing how things are gonna turn out. I mean, both are fun to do, and I also feel like the pixel books tend to take a while and they're kind of tedious, and then you're still kind of wondering what the heck it's gonna turn out to be, and you just don't know. I feel like I'm gonna get ink on the next page. So yeah, I think for that question, I would say normal color by numbers. So like, I really enjoy George Tufex's color by numbers. They're very detailed, but they're nice. Yeah, I think that's my answer for that one. And then the last question we have is a bonus question. And it's not a this or that question, but it does get you thinking a little bit. The question is, if you had to use only one supply for the rest of your life, what would it be and why? So, the way I'm going to put this question, feel free to interpret it how you want, but I'm going to answer it like one specific brand of a certain supply and a medium. So my answer probably would be Crayola Super Tips. I would use Crayola Super Tips as my one medium for the rest of my life, my one supply for the rest of my life. So yours might be the Ohuhu markers, someone else's might be the Cali Art markers, someone might be, you know, the Prismacolor set of colored pencils. Mine, I think, would be the Crayola Super Tips because they're so versatile. You can use them in both double-sided books, single-sided books, and they do not bleed through, and they look really nice. I enjoy them. They last forever, and that is my answer, and I'm sticking to it. So my voice is officially shot, and I am finished with this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below your answers if you don't have a YouTube channel. Again, I'm tagging Danielle, Shayna, Emily, and Meg. Definitely do this tag. Let me know when you do it. Anyone else, please, please, please do the tag. I only ask that you give me credit in your video and in the description box. If you could link my channel, that would be amazing. And thank you guys again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys!